but I'm creating Igbo village, which has never happened in the history of the world among the Igbos in the world. As I'm talking to you, I've acquired 50 acres of land, that is 250 plus of land along the Flower Road. That is at my reason of acquiring this land is to build Igbo village in Ghana. I call it Amande Igbo in Ghana.
5 clans who own land along the Tema Flower Road in the general Old Ningo area have not sold any land to the said Igbo king to develop a kingdom.
One of the most interesting stories that happened during this week in Ghana was the issue of Igbo king. Igbo king, you understand? And one of the reason why this is interesting is because it involves land acquisition. So generally, there is a very humble gentleman who is an Igbo man. You understand? He's, according to what we hear in the news, purportedly or reportedly has been reported that he has stayed in Ghana here for about 20 years, married to a Ghanaian lady, decided that he's been installed as a king in his, as an Igbo man in Ghana. So he is a king for Igbo people in Ghana. And Igbo is a tribe. In Ghana, we call them Igbo. So there is a tribe from Nigeria, and they are popularly known for their business, skills. They are really good importers, distributors, and salespeople. You understand? So that's what they are known for. Now, this man has stayed in Ghana here. He's done this spare parts business, I'm sure. He has his own business entities that he has really established. Everything is going on well for him in Ghana. But why this has become an issue is not necessarily them installing him or enscaling him as a king. That is not the problem. The problem is actually him rubbing it in the face of Ghanaians. You understand? According to him, he's been installed as a king for Igbo or Igbo king in Ghana. That's like a representative. And this is recognized that, they do it in almost a lot of countries. But, they do it in Ghana and it's a problem. But I don't think Ghanaians actually have problem with him being an Igbo king in Ghana. The problem is actually him rubbing it in the face of Ghanaians, saying that he wants to establish a Igbo village. So he's bought huge acres of land that he intends to build a village there for Igbo people. So that is really concerning for Ghanaians. For Ghanaians, this is not a good news. You can, come to announce this if Igbo as a tribe has a good name in Ghana. But generally speaking, Igbo as a tribe does not have a good name in Ghana. Like, they don't have a goodwill in Ghana. Coming out to even, make an announcement that you're coming up with a village, that you bought a huge acres of land, that you're building it as a Igbo village, you're going to build institutions in it, hotels that will house your governors who will come to Ghana and stuff. That's a good thing, you understand? But saying it in public is a big deal. That's number one. Number one, the biggest mistake he made was to announce it in public. You don't need to announce some things like this, because the reason I tell you is that in Ghana here, there are a lot of locations that are known for some tribes. You understand? You go to some part of Ghana, they call this place Hausa Lane. You understand? You go to Dodowa like this. There's a specific tribe that is known, and they've bought an entire location that is known for that tribe. The time the people came, or the old people came, they didn't necessarily say that they are coming to build it for their people. But when you check the settlement there, the people that are living there, it's just one tribe. You understand? So the biggest mistake the Igbo man or the Igbo king did was to announce it in public that he's going to do an Igbo village. That's the biggest mistake he has made. Number two, is not about him calling himself a king or Igbo people respecting him as a king. That's not the problem. His problem is also about establishing a community for his people. In Ghana here, we have a lot of chiefs. We have Hausa chiefs, Kotokoli chiefs, different chiefs. But they don't necessarily go acquire a land that they want to acquire for their people, and it's only a village for their people. No. You must have a history of living here to be able to have your own village. You don't have a history. Only came here 20 years ago and you think that is worth you having your own location, a village for yourself. No. You understand? My tribe is very famous as well. Our ancestors were here. They fought with the ancestral people to get Ghana in addition. So my people, where I come from, we have a village. You understand? That is known that, oh, my tribe, this is their village. You understand? Aha. So you don't, number one, you don't have any history in Ghana here. You never fought for our independence, fought with the white people, nothing. You come from nowhere, you want to have a village here. That's what Ghanaians are saying. No, this is not coming from me. You understand? So that is also a big challenge. So people are saying, oh, why can't they have their own king? That's not a problem. Have your own king or your own chief, whatever you call him, is not a problem to Ghanaians. But you establishing a community that primarily is going to be your own people is going to be a big problem. But notwithstanding, when I told you that Igbo does not have a goodwill, we have to understand it from the perspective of their settlement in Ghana, not only Ghana, in other countries as well. A lot of times, whenever they are going to arrest people, most of times you find Igbo people among. So if they are arresting kidnappers, as for kidnapping there, hands down. You understand? This is also, I think, one of the governors of the states in Nigeria. He's an Igbo man. He made it clear if they are arresting about 100 kidnappers, 99 will be Igbo people.
I've been in office for three years and 3 months, okay? If we have arrested 100 criminals, non-mafia, kidnappers, and so on and so forth, 99.99% of them will mark Igbo.
So that's a big problem. That's even your country. Even currently in Ghana here, in the Ashati region, a house was raided by the police like that. A community raided a house. And then the people they found there was, they were Igbo people. They were into this marketing scheme, internet marketing scheme. And then when people bring money, then they tell them they are going to travel with them. I made a video about that as well. So it's a big problem. You understand? So naturally, Igbo does not have a good name in Ghana. So if you don't have a good name in Ghana, you want to have a village for yourself, you could have done it silently before people wake up. Oh, you have already built your community. You have built your houses. You understand? Number 3 is that people fear that when they successfully build a village, Ghanaians, natural Ghanaians, typical citizens of Ghana will not have access to those locations. You understand? And it happens in other countries. It happens even in Nigeria. You understand? That's Igbo, when they have a location, you know, not everyone can have access to those locations. You understand? So, generally speaking, this is one of the trending, issue that happened in Ghana, and it's so alarming. I've also watched a news where some of the chiefs, I think is it the Ningo chiefs, they also came out and made a disclaimer that they never sold any land to him.
The press conference is to make sure that anyone out there should know that we are not welcoming such kingdom to Ningo Enclave. And that is the main reason for the press conference, because nobody in Ghana can welcome such kingdom. And there is no way any kingdom should be established on our land while we have our kingdom already.
However, the Igbo king himself has read his own news, and he made it clear that he's bought a piece of land, very big portion, is it about 50 acres or what? And he's having that kind of intention. But I know that looking at how the media is pulling here and there, it will be difficult for Igbo people to actually settle and make their own village in Ghana. I don't have anything to say individually myself, but it is something that is relating to what is happening in Ghana, and also is relating to land acquisition. If you follow this channel, you know that here we talk about land business, and it's something that you can actually pay attention to. Bye, I'm out.